today's episode of Candid Kaya. Today, I am here with Borley Quaye, author of the new hottest thing on Amazon, a future bestseller, Worth the Wahala. And she is going to tell us a little bit about what inspired her to write her very first book. Stay tuned. So hello, Borley.
Hi, Nakaya.
Thank you so much for coming on today's episode.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
So hi guys, my name is Borley. I'm 28 years old. I just wrote this book, Worth the Wahala, and I'm a flight attendant. You might have seen me on How to Become a Flight Attendant video. If not, you can go check that out. And I love eating African food, so those are just some things about me.
All right, well, perfect. So, Borley, show everyone your book real quick.
This is my cute book.
Okay, so tell us. What inspired you to write Worth the Wahala?
So, growing up, my dad would dress me and my sisters up in like African fabric, and he would make them look like little gowns. So we would always say, "Daddy, let's play princess." And, you know, he would just tell us, like, you know, we were princesses. Or, like, my name, Borley, is named after my grandmother. So he would always call me Ima Borley, which means, like, my mother, Borley. So, you know, everybody loves their mom. I know you love your mom. So it's like, you know, I've been hyped up from a young age. Just like, I'm a princess. I'm the mom, you know. And I remember when I was 16, my grandmother gave me a crown, a tiara. And she was like, Borley, this tiara might rust. It might break. But it's symbolic of you. You're royalty. You're a child of God. I never want you to forget your crown. So growing up, I had all this support, you know, these people instilling in me that I was valuable, that I was worth it. So when I was at my like lowest times, I like would lean back on those things, but I saw that there were women around me who didn't have that support system and who might have made like maybe not the best decisions because they just didn't know how valuable they were. Right. So that's really why I wrote this book. I want women to know their value and their worth. And if I don't have an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with you, I can have something to kind of leave with you. And all of my advice, everything that I believe in is like wrapped up into this little book. So that's what inspired me. And I just want to inspire like a whole population of women.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing. So you're a working woman.
Yes.
And you also wrote a book.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how that process was.
So this book took me about 3 years to complete. Sometimes I would, as soon as I would be done with work, I would write and, you know, I would be on it. And then there were other times when I just wanted to, you know, sit on my couch and do whatever. So it did take me a long time to actually finish the book. But, you know, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And, you know, meeting people, having like a designer work on the stuff, meeting like with a editor and doing all those things, they definitely take time. I tell them what I want, and they tell me how long it's going to take. So the whole process was long, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. I think that it worked out well, like that it was kind of like a hobby that I could work on. And, you know, when I started thinking of things or when events in my life happened, I would just add those to the book. So it wasn't that bad, like working and writing a book. And I think it turned out perfectly, honestly.
All right. So tell us a little bit about maybe some of your personal experiences that are included in this book.
So, okay, my dad, so actually Worth the Wahala, Wahala means trouble or drama, because my dad is from Ghana. So in our culture, like this guy was like, why are you causing me so much Wahala? Like this Ghanaian guy that I was dating. And it was then I was like, I'm worth the Wahala. So that's kind of like the, I guess the reason why I wrote this book. I was like prompted to write it, but I love my father, and because my Ghanaian side is from his family, I talk a lot about like him and how crazy he is, how strict he is, and basically what it's like growing up in a Ghanaian home. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world because he's crazy. Like, he knows he's crazy, but it's actually funny, like, how strict he is. So I put a lot of stories in here about him and, like, you know, the foods I like to eat. I think it's a very humorous book. Pretty much everyone who's read it has told me, like, it's a relatable book. They feel like they're sitting down having a conversation with me. So it's definitely funny, and there's a lot of, my life experiences in here.
All right, so you gotta buy to read more.
Exactly. And we hope that you really do buy and support, because honestly, I am biased, but I'm not lying. Like, when I was going back and editing the book and reading, I was like, wow, I did that. Like, thank God, I was like, wow, there's some really good stuff in here.
All right, Borley. So tell me a little bit more about, why do you think that women assume they aren't worth the trouble?
So I would say that women maybe aren't encouraged, or maybe their support system doesn't kind of like instill a sense of worth and value in them. A lot of times doing what you know is right, or doing what might be worth the trouble, is going to be inconvenient. Like, it's troublesome, it's dramatic sometimes to do what's right. Like I was saying about that guy who was like, why are you causing me so much wahala? I wasn't doing anything. Like, I am practicing celibacy and he wasn't. So, we were trying to work something out, like a relationship. And of course, that's just not going to work out. But, for me, that's something that I believe in. That's something that I believe is the right thing to do. So for him to say, why are you causing me so much drama? I know that some girls would have, given up. We're all human. We all have desires. So it is sometimes hard fighting temptation, but I do believe that is the right thing to do. And I do believe I'm worth the trouble, and whoever I'm going to be with is worth the trouble of resisting and, being celibate. But worth the Wahala is not just about relationships. It's about, valuing yourself, at work, doing your best work, or maybe not settling for, a salary that you think is below what you deserve. Mm-hmm. It's, you going to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning before you have to go to work, because your health is worth the inconveniences of having to wake up at 6 a.m. Right. So I really want to just, encourage people to do what is inconvenient. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of stray away from it, because society does tell us, YOLO, you only live once, like, do what makes you happy, do, whatever you want, eat that extra pound cake, you know what I mean? It's just like, kind of like a limitless, kind of like do whatever you want kind of feel in society. But honestly, there is a right thing to do and there's a wrong thing to do. And I do think, with everything, there should be boundaries. It's just not always the easiest thing. So that's why I feel like sometimes people stray towards like, whatever just makes them happy.
Settling.
Right. I think, yeah, but that's a good word. Like, I just killed it. You said it, not me.
So what do you hope that women get from reading Worth the Wahala?
I want to inspire women to do the right thing. Right. Like, I know everyone's definition of the right thing is different. And that's like, maybe another book, another day. Read the book, and I hope that, our definition of what's right can match up together. But I want everything that you do to be the right thing. I don't want you to ever bow down to what someone in your life wants you to do if you feel that, you're being pressured or it's not the right thing. I don't want that to faze you. I want you to set a certain standard. I want you to know exactly what you want. I want you to have peace in your life, and I want you to never settle for less than what you deserve. I want you to know your worth. There's so many women that don't know what they're worth. And it's so crazy, Nakai, because I go into high schools and I speak to girls, mm-hmm. and they'll be crying afterwards, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, my only job, like, I feel like my mission in life, I feel like it's my purpose, and it's like, my mission in life is to convince you that you're valuable and that you're so special. I will do that all day gladly. Mm-hmm. So that's really what I want people to do. Like, I can sit for hours and just talk to different girls and be like, are you kidding me? You're so special. Like, I love, love, love doing that. So I want people to know their worth. I never want them to settle for what they deserve. And can you imagine if we had like a whole city full of women who knew what their worth was and who didn't settle? Yep. Guys would have to step up. Businesses would have to step up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, come on. Like, we would have amazing women doing amazing things. So that's really what I want. I want you guys to know you're worth the Wahala.
All right, Borley. So now I want to get just a little bit more of your advice.
Okay.
What advice would you give to a woman who feels that she is constantly being pressured to do something she doesn't want to do?
Okay, I would say don't be pressured. Period. Okay. I do not believe in being peer pressured, probably because that's like the one time that I get anxious. Like when there's a lot of stuff going on, I just talk slower. Like there could be a whole bunch of things coming at me at once, but I just kind of, it's almost like I'm shutting down, but no one else knows I'm shutting down. Like I start to just think and just talk slowly and wait until I feel comfortable. I don't ever get flustered and go, okay, yes, or something like that.
Right.
So if my advice is do not ever feel pressured to do anything. And that's something that I wrote in this book. I was thinking, like, do you ever think like God gets pressured to do anything? Like, would you ever just be like, okay, God, like I need this right now. I need to get into this school. I need to get this job. Like, hurry up. Like, what do you think God's response would be? I feel like he'd be sitting like this and just like this. You're not going to rush me because he's God. And I feel like, we have to embody some of the principles that, God embodies. So I feel like sometimes you need to sit down and be like, okay, we're going to wait. Because in the Bible it says that if God opens a door for you, no man can shut it. So even if like a business or a company, they're saying, okay, we have this opportunity for you. We need you to respond in this 2 days and you don't know what you're going to do. You better sit and wait. Mm-hmm. Because if it's already in God's will for your life, there's no one who's going to take it away from you, period. And I just believe that, when you get pressured and things like that, like it's just not of God. Like he wants you to like talk to him about, your decisions and make sure that you feel comfortable doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I operate. So my advice to you is don't ever feel pressured. You better sit and wait. And when you feel comfortable, that's when you go ahead and give them one. I mean, we're literally royalty. And, I was thinking, so like, let's say the Queen Elizabeth is at Buckingham Palace. Mm-hmm. And, I'm knocking on the iron fence with the little soldiers right there, which is like 200 yards from the palace itself. And I'm just knocking on the fence. I'm like, Queen Elizabeth, hurry up. We got to go to dinner. Is she giving me any type of day? No, you don't rush royalty. Right. And those are the type of things that I want you to start thinking, and I want you to start instilling in your brain. We are children of the Most High God. You're a princess, girl. Look at us sitting in these plush chairs over here at Candid Kaya Studios. We're royalty. You can't rush us. That's my advice. I know.
All right, you know what? I'm going to take that advice to heart.
Okay, good.
I'm going to be royalty from now on.
Yes, you are.
Borley, tell everyone how they can keep up with you and Worth the Wahala.
Okay, guys. So my website is heyborley.com. Borley is spelled Borley. We have super cute shirts that are out and about. They're coming soon. My book release is going to be in mid-March, so please stay tuned for that. You can follow me on Instagram at heyborley, or you can follow my books page at Worth the Wahala. I'm just so thankful to be here. And Kaya, I actually have a surprise. This book that I've been holding up the whole time is for you.
Oh, thank you, friends. And I'm going to be giving some away.
Yes, perfect.
So tune in.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us real quick what Wahala Day means.
Okay, so Wahala Day means like trouble is here. So you remember that guy that I was telling you, like, he's like, why are you causing me so much Wahala? I was like, look, this is not going to change. Like, I'm here. You better come and meet me, okay? This trouble is here to stay. Because honestly, like, just because society sees you or what you're doing as troublesome or dramatic doesn't mean that you actually are. So if you want to refer to me as trouble, guess what, boo? Wahala Day. This trouble is here to stay. Okay?
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Borley, for coming on today's episode. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below and we'll make sure that they get answered. Also, Borley's information is below as well. So, everyone, please remember that you are worth the Wahala. We'll see you again next time.